What's up, my good people? Hey, it is your girl Tay, and we gonna get into some tea today, okay? So welcome to another episode of Tea Talks with Tay. Hey, and today I want to talk about this whole debate, this whole bitter baby mama bum baby daddy situation that's going on in the black community, because it's a lot. And really, I want to expose the patriarchy. Hello? Because one thing you're going to learn about this channel is we drag patriarchy over here. It's one of my favorite pastimes. So yes, I will be talking about how patriarchy plays into that, as well as the lack of sympathy, the lack of empathy, and this whole strong black woman, angry black woman trope plays into the coining of the phrase bitter baby mama. So let's go ahead and get into it, shall we? So the first thing I want to address is calling these women bitter. Totally misnaming their situations, okay? Because a lot of people, and it really kills me when women do this, they say things like, oh, she just mad because he got him a new girl. Oh, she just mad because he ain't want your ass. Oh, she just mad because he left her. And it's like, for what? We can validate that she has every right to be hurt. We should be able to sympathize and empathize with these women. That's one. That they are allowed to be hurt. It does so much of a disservice by saying bitter, because it's invalidating this woman's feelings. And it really plays into the strong black woman trope. And it also plays into the angry black woman trope. Because we are not calling what it is, we're calling it bitter when it's coming from a place of hurt. But even then, why is it that when a woman asks for the father of her child resources, that's what the conversation turns to? Why can't we see that? Maybe she is hurt, but also because duality does exist, she really needs the money. I mean, because two did come into the making of the child, so there should be two helping raise and support that said child. And let me go ahead and address all of the grown males, I'm not calling them men, who have these baby mother come up women. What about those who, I've seen jokes about this, y'all. Jokes about how a man get unattractive woman or dark-skinned woman as their first baby mother. It's a joke for the baby mama to always, oh, it's just a test run, so she got to be ugly. The first baby mama always the ugliest. And then when they make it, they go get them a lighter woman or a mixed woman or a non-black woman. Yeah, let me sip my tea on that one. This really makes me think of the most recent incident that happened between Lil Baby, he is a very popular rapper as of right now, and his mother of his child, Aisha, who is a darker skinned, brown skinned woman. Because now he's dating a woman named Jada Cheese, and she's very much so light. And she took to the internet how he ain't fulfilling the promises he gave me. And people calling her bitter. How people have been saying, "Oh, girl, you just mad because he done came up now. He a popular rapper, got all this money, this and that," and you know the colorists coming through saying with their ignorant commentary, and there was just no accountability being held for him, and it's just like. You even had women on there talking so, oh, she tied up his broken promises.
Getting a little tired of your broken promises.
Because of, the 3LW, which it wasn't funny. And it's just the fact that these are women. And you even had people saying, women again, how, girl, you can't depend on no man. You gonna just have to get up there and get out and do it yourself. Excuse me? What? It's really the patriarchy for me. And the same thing with Moneybag Yo, baby mother. Because if you got money to spend on a chick you just not meeting for months, and she did not carry your seed, she is not responsible for having your seed on this earth, you buying her a whole expensive car, you can at least get the mother of your child something that she can use as a resource to make sure that your child is straight. See, and this is why I call them grown males and not men. I don't care what beef you got with your baby mother. I don't care about anything like that. At least you can do as a man is make sure that she is straight so your child can be straight. It's just something going on with your moral code, and I don't even F with that. We really have to start teaching and really holding these men accountable that as a man, when a woman has your child, even if y'all are no longer together, it doesn't matter who you with now. You should have enough emotional responsibility to put any differences aside to make sure she has the resources she needs if she's going to be taking care of your child, especially if you got multiple of them and you know that they are going to have custody of them most of the time. Can you make sure that they are living comfortably? But you so busy trying to be petty, worried about what she gonna do with the money, worried because you feel like she don't deserve this and that and not that. Little female-ish. That's the type of tease it's giving me. And the reason why this has gone on for generations and generations, I know everybody who watches this video, at least either they have been raised in a single parent home, especially a single mother home. I was raised by a single mother. Or they know someone in their friend group most definitely was raised in a single mother home. And we really need to let go of this trauma of the programming that it is meant to be this way. That women in the Black community must be matriarchs when it comes to raising these families. But we don't even get the proper respect or credit we deserve for being those matriarchs. We need to start really having these conversations because it's not normal. It's really a programming. It's really a system that we need to let go of, that we need to unlearn. It's not normal, nor is it okay for these men to be bebopping and hopping around, have all of these baby mothers. Because it's like your parenting is not even going to be, you can't even be a effective parent if you got multiple children. You're not even stable enough to really set some moral codes or values into your kids. And this next statement, absolutely disgusting. So this is the foolishness that I ran across when I was messing around with Beyonce's internet. That's literally his decision to make. I don't know what makes y'all think y'all can have a man's child against his wishes and feel that you are entitled to a certain amount of support. Do better. Entitlement? So, you think that a woman who has carried a child for 8+ months, went through 8 months of, pregnancy, you go through so many things. You go through the morning sickness. You go through the loss of appetite. You go through sickness in general because everything makes you nauseated. You go through having to buy a new wardrobe, life restrictions. You can't do the same things when you're pregnant. Having to adjust how to sleep pregnant. The emotions, the labor. Go through all these things just to say that I'm entitled because I'm asking for the father of my child. Damn, if he agreed to have the baby or not for money, that's entitlement. This is what I mean, going back to, a lot of people don't believe that Black women have the right to be soft, feminine, and vulnerable, and in need of safety and protecting. Because I just, that statement, entitlement. And really what it is, again, the lack of accountability. And I just want to say, the reason why men are even feeling comfortable saying this is, let me take it back to Dave Chappelle when he did a special a year ago or so. And this was during the time that abortion had become illegal. So, he made a very false argument. He tried real hard that, hey, okay, I agree that women have every single right to make that choice on if they're going to keep a child or not. But it's also the man's choice if he wants to be in that child's life, if she does decide to have the child, even if the father says no. What the hell? Listen to this. If both of you make that very conscious decision as two grown, you grown, everybody know what sex does. It creates children. So, you too grown to be sitting here talking about how they have that decision on if they're going to be in a child's life. You made that decision when you decided to have sex because you know what comes from it. You know the risk that you are taking. And while we having all this sex positive conversations, we need to be having conversations about how to have safe sex. What does that look like for all different types of sexual orientations? See, we like to have the fun conversations in this Western culture, but y'all don't want to take accountability, responsibility for nothing. So therefore, it's either you gonna talk this out with me now, or we gonna have to take it to the court, because we gonna get that bag. You gonna give me the money. Some people be so pressed about women getting money. It's because you're not sure. You can't really keep track of what the money goes to. So you feel like, oh, you're funding her life. As if that would be a bad thing. Why are you so worried if she does have to buy some things for herself? You gotta keep the mother of your child sustainable if you want them to raise your child. The false comparison that since a woman has the choice on terminating, so you get to terminate yourself from the life, that don't work. That don't work, homie. Like, nah. It just be the false equivalences for me that don't be making no sense. Like, oh, you women, y'all trying to fight for equality anyway, so here you go. Here you go. And you sound real salty. You sound real salty that women are really trying to claim their power, sir. It's some underlying things going on there. For one, let me just say that. But also, it's just no comparison. It's just not any type of equivalency between a woman fighting for equal pay, fighting to be able to have the same jobs that these men have, such as certain leadership positions and roles. For women in Hollywood to get those leading roles that for so long only were ideal for men. For women to fight for the power to speak out about sexual abuse, sexual violence, sexual harassment, rape, all of those things, and been taken seriously. Just to be taken serious in business, period. That is something completely different. But you wanted to water down the women movement to just wanted to be independent. Just wanted to be able to, oh, you want equal treatment then. Oh, that means you can pay half the bills or pay the bills or pay for this dinner, pay for the meal. That's not what we're saying. You're saying that because you're trying to take off responsibility and accountability from yourself and from other men. That's why you feel that, oh, well, you wanted the independence so much. That means you ain't got no trouble being no single mother. You independent, right? You wanted that equal pay, right? This is what y'all was fighting. What? The arguments are not the same. Where do you find women like this? Oh my gosh. She's disgusting. I would never do blah, blah, blah. This is what some of you women say about this. And it's just like, girl, you sound like a whole pick-me card. That's what you, pick me. Because I'm not that type of woman. I just feel so bad for these men. And especially for those who are in relationships with these men who have several baby mothers. You are already in a position where you just might be the next. Ooh, I'm shading somebody on this one. If you watch my recent video, you know who. But you this close, ma'am, to being the next one. I'm talking about one stroke away. So, with the conversations about women empowerment going on, how could so many women say things like this? It's the hypocrisy for me, because you get it when it's ready to shake your tail and reclaim your sexuality. But if your feminism, if your womanism, if the structure of it is broken, if it is fragile when we are discussing men and their attractiveness to you, when we are discussing men and the proximity of who gets who, or accessibility to these men, sexual accessibility, and it shatters, you're not as much of a womanist or a feminist or about women as you think. Because your being about women, fighting for women, and standing with women, that has to be included when men are in the conversation, when your accessibility or attractiveness is at stake. Lastly, I wanted to end this by saying again, women in the Black community, we cannot no longer be the matriarchs. Men, you're going to have to step up. Step up. There should be no more having the mother of your children struggle. You ought to be embarrassed as a man. You're a grown male to be. You ought to be embarrassed. But not only that, we need to start really holding these men accountable. Okay? For having all of these women with these different kids. And just for me personally, because a lot of people don't even think about the emotional trauma, the childhood trauma for not having a father in the household, especially as a young man if you're growing up as a male. Especially then. But for the daughters who feel like, wow, as a woman who grew up in a single mother home, it leaves you with that was my dad, the one person automatically, no matter what, is supposed to love me, be there for me, is not. So that affects my relationship and other women's relationship with men. So now we got a lot of deconstructing and learning to do, and learning how to trust masculinity when it does not look toxic and be comfortable in it. So, although we learn what not to look for in a man, what how do we learn what to look for? How do we learn what it is that we should be seeing if we don't have that example in our lives? For the sake of the next generations to come, let's start having these conversations. Let's start being more serious on who we decide to lay with and cultivate our future bloodlines with.